Everybody, I hope that you are having as lovely a Sunday afternoon as I am. I have the kids back there. They're over on the swing set. And then, actually, there's nobody in the actual little, park part of the park. So, playground's kind of empty. The kids are going to go over to that next. But what a day, huh? It's not even 24 hours since we found out that Jeffrey Epstein will be in a New York Manhattan courtroom tomorrow morning, facing two counts at least of up to 45 years. Of up to 45 years. And I'm still trying to pinch myself and make sure that this isn't some kind of dream, like an extended dream. It shows you that there are good people everywhere, whether it be in government or in business. There are good people out there. And once again, I think that the big thing is that we've got to hold these people as accountable as possible. How do we do it? Well, those documents that are being unsealed as we speak, it can't just be Jason Burmis showing you the Dershowitz testimony. Big prop up to to Derek Bros of the Conscious Resistance. If you're unfamiliar with Derek Bros, earlier today I tweeted out a video of Derek Bros interviewing Bradley Edwards. Why is this important? So Bradley Edwards is a lawyer that initially took up the case against Epstein when it was still a criminal matter. Okay, in other words, he was representing the victims in what would become the sweetheart deal. Now, during this, Epstein and Dershowitz and his cronies, they tried to get him disbarred. Okay, they went after those guys viciously. And because of this, Epstein actually sued them to get them disbarred. And because of this, a countersuit was brought by Bradley Edwards that took almost a decade to come to a head. And when it came to a head, when a judge said, this is enough, we're going to do this. I understand what you're doing. You're using your money and your power to extend this trial for as long as possible. We're setting a date. And at one point, I thought that date would never come. And then once again, hey, all of a sudden, we're about to have jury selection, and what happens? He doesn't want jury selection, so he settles. So anyway, going back to what I was talking about, I posted that Derek Bros of the Conscious Resistance interviewed Bradley Edwards and specifically asked him about Trump. Now, I was able to find an old 2016 article where, I think I actually showed it on one of the live streams yesterday, where Bradley Edwards was discussing how he was going to get a deposition, file for a deposition from Trump, okay? And then he decided not to, because once Trump found out about it, he had someone tell him he would call him immediately, and he did. And then he provided information that Bradley Edwards believed was truthful, and he believed that he had nothing to do with this ring. Now, the James Bamford book, Filthy Rich. Remember, James Bamford, the #1 best-selling nonfiction author in the country. Somebody who writes, thrillers and spy novels, usually not, biographies, right? So he and a couple other journalists, they do the Jeffrey Epstein biography. It's something I've talked about for years. Get the ebook. For some reason, I think it has like 3 stars on Amazon. It should have 5. It's an incredible book. It's incredibly well sourced. And it says that Trump had a falling out with Epstein after he basically pimped out one of the underage girls who was an associate of his at Mar-a-Lago. That being said, Trump didn't seem to have a problem spending time with Prince Andrew. So that's a problem to me. And the idea that Trump was only at his house once, or they didn't have more of a relationship, I think that's untrue. You also have to understand, let's make this clear. Trump has paid for sex in the past with a lot more women than you think. When everybody was saying Stormy Daniels was lying, I was like, no, she's not. I think it's a non-issue. I don't think that it should matter. I think everybody knows who they elected. If you didn't know that Trump was into cheating and into women, and you didn't know that he ran beauty pageants back in the day, you obviously weren't paying attention, right? So that was a non-issue to me. And you got to understand, Epstein didn't just have underage girls. From the documents themselves, it looks like as young as 12, as old as 25. And remember, a lot of these older women, I guess I'll call them, they became recruiters. And we've talked about some of the co-defendants in these Jane Doe lawsuits. Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2, Jane Doe 3, Jane Doe 4, Jane Doe 5, Jane Doe 102, Jane Doe 43. Okay? So there you go. That's my take on the whole Trump situation. Now, what I think is a bigger take is that this is the FBI, this is the Department of Justice, right? And so far we know about 2 charges. If you read the allegations, which again we went over in some of the deep dives, it says that this ring never stopped operating, despite the fact that they were talking about the mid-90s to allegations up through the early 2000s. They're saying this went beyond 2007, and they said the enterprise was still moving today. Now, Maria Farmer, that seems to be the driving force, at least behind the New York court case that's coming up. She claims that in 1995, she was the door person, the person that was keeping records of people coming in and out of Epstein's New York mansion. Now, Dershowitz is trying to spin it, say this is untrue, and that he's never met Farmer, he's never met Roberts, and that he didn't meet Epstein until the late 90s, 98 or 99, at Leslie Wexner's 59th birthday party. And he was introduced to Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell by Lady Rothschild. That's what Dershowitz is saying. Now, Dershowitz, I don't know, is being honest about that, but I'll bet anything that he's being honest about seeing Trump at Epstein's residence, and not just the one time that Roger Stone is talking about. But again, that doesn't make, Trump a bad guy in the respect of, him being a child predator. I don't think that. Now, going back to Barr, the head of the Department of Justice, remember, he recused himself of the initial reopening of that sweetheart deal because he had worked for one of the law firms that represented Epstein. Sorry about the train, guys. Yeah, I know, we got to watch out for that train. We're in the park. Anything could happen. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to have anything bad happen. And thank you guys all for the support. Thanks for all the new subs. If you're enjoying this, and usually it's a walk and talk. I usually walk, but the kids are having fun in the playground behind me. So we're going to stay put here. But obviously we're doing a bunch of interviews, a bunch of real videos about real subjects. And this is the big one. Can we take down more? Can we ensure that our children's futures are without being sexually taken advantage of by elite predators? And there's a lot to that, It's not just the people that are doing this physically. It's the people that are pushing a sexualization agenda of children. Give me a break. Are we talking about Comey? A lot of people are saying that it's James Comey's daughter that's heading up this investigation. I don't know for sure. I gotta look into that. I'm gonna be finding out more and more and more. We'll find out whether there is an actual Comey connection here in New York. And remember, I'm very disappointed in the outcome for Nexium unless more charges are going to be brought against Bronfman and others. So am I still skeptical? Sure. But I'm pinching myself, man. I'm pinching away. I'm like, oh my goodness, is this real? Are we really doing this? Do we have Epstein? And it was so unexpected. So unexpected last night. I would have gone live right away again. I had family over. Big UFC night. What a card. If you didn't see last night's card, what a card! And that's what else is nice. We sit here, we talk about dark things all the time, right, guys? And a lot of the subject matter is hardcore. But at the end of the day, this is where I live. This is what I do. I have a good time with my family. I raise my kids the way I want to. We have dinner. Nothing. Are you having fun? I get sass from them when I look at them and I start talking about them. So it's something I actually enjoy. It makes life worth living. But that doesn't mean we have to be apathetic and we have to ignore things like this. In fact, when we ignore things like this and we enable more of it, it will continue and get worse and worse and worse. So that's just not an option for me. So guys, in about, I believe, an hour and a half from now, I'm going to have Tony Gosling on. We're going to be talking about Brexit. We're going to be talking about the European Union. We're going to be talking about the upcoming election of the Prime Minister. Stop it, guys. In Britain, and a whole lot more. The kids are definitely getting anxious. So make sure you thumbs this up. You share it on social media, guys. You go through the documents yourself. Guys, on Twitter right now, you can find a lot of the raw, unsealed Epstein documents. I need your help, please. And if you can, support my GoFundMe. But like I said, if you're not subbed, join the Burmist Brigade for real news. We're doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos a day. It's not about left and right. It's always been about right and wrong.